Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Ballpark. I am your host, Patrick Moran, alongside Brendan Cunningham. And today, loaded a conversation about the winter meetings. They have wrapped up, I forget when, but they were during this week, or this past week. And, there was some stuff that happened that was truly fascinating and shocking that we will get to. But, it'll all be covered in this episode, along with some other supplemental topics of discussion, surrounding just free agency in the offseason. But before we dive into that, Brendan, how are you doing? Christmas break right around the corner. I don't know about you. But yeah, how's it going?
I'm feeling real good about Christmas break, though. Unfortunately, Pats broke their win streak today with a loss against the Bills. Brutal loss. So I'm not feeling great right now, but I'm definitely getting excited for the holidays. How about you, though?
We're good. Ravens shutout. Commanders win. Good day in the DMV. Was disappointing to see the Patriots lose, though. Is it last week before Christmas break, starting tomorrow for you?
It's last week, and then they make us go those 2 days before Christmas Eve. So Monday, Tuesday,
Oh,
Wednesday would be off.
wow. They're pushing you right
Brutal.
up. Yeah, that's tough. Although you are coming off a ski trip in Vermont, feeling pretty good about that. So
I am. I am. I know you're probably getting out early, though, in private school.
yeah, we got this week, and then we're done until 2026.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and we already got a 2-hour delay tomorrow because we're not good with snow.
Yeah, really? How much do you guys get down there?
Not a lot, but like when we get snow, Maryland is just so inept at dealing with it. They'll call
Jeez.
they'll call snow days when it's like there's less snow out there than a snow globe.
It's
As I had
ridiculous.
a neighbor call it, which is funny. He was from New England and he knows the brutality of New England winters. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are clap it up before we hit the record button. Chiefs eliminated from the playoffs. I think everyone under the sun that is not a Chiefs fan is happy about that. So, yeah, huge victory there.
Yeah. Eliminated? That seems a little crazy to say. The Chiefs are not going to the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Mahomes torn ACL, done for the year. Yeah, turned upside down.
It's going to be a weird time in Kansas City.
Yep. Hey, no Taylor Swift though. No more Taylor Swift sightings in the playoffs. That's pretty satisfying.
Notice that as soon as she gets engaged, team's out. It's just saying.
Yeah, probably should have Travis Kelce hang him up, but that's for a football conversation. Baseball, winter meetings in Orlando, Florida. We hinted at it last week because we recorded on Monday, and now we are back here on Sunday. Brendan, overall, how did you feel about them as a Red Sox fan? Just kind of the overall takeaways, maybe for your team, maybe just in general. What was the overall vibe for you?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel great. I didn't feel great at all. I know we didn't get to it last episode, but my prediction was during the winter meetings, Pete Alonso would side of the Red Sox. Didn't happen. So I'm not feeling too psyched, and we didn't get an Alex Bregman deal done or either. Didn't really sign anybody. It's just we did the Sonny Gray trade, and now we've gone silent. I'm confused. I want them to make some moves, but I wasn't happy though. How about you?
Yeah, it was an interesting winter meetings, no doubt. I will say, before we get into the big conversation, Edwin Diaz, I did call. I said that he was probably going to go to the Dodgers, and what do you know? But again, we'll get into that. I just wanted to pat myself on the back for my prediction. It was pretty good. You had a wrong one, unfortunately, but I had a right one. So it always feels good to have that. But I think a team that did not have good winter meetings, or at least the fans, the New York Mets, I think we just have to talk about what's going on in Queens because it's a loaded conversation. It's Pete Alonso going to Baltimore, 5 years, $155 million. on the heels of the Kyle Schwarber deal, which we'll also talk about, and then you have Edwin Diaz, 3 years, $69 million. Where do we want to start first? Do you want to go to Alonso or Diaz?
I say we start with the one that happened first, being Diaz.
That makes sense.
Which, like I say, great call by you. I mean, it's just a typical Dodgers move with the 3-year, $69 million deal. I mean, if the Mets were going to sign him, it's probably the Dodgers. That bullpen was a little shaky this year, and it's just so like the Dodgers got one of the best closers in the game, definitely the past few years. So I think this, it's not good for the rest of baseball. The fact they got this guy, I don't know what you're thinking though.
Yeah, I mean, I had that sense in that the Dodgers are always going to spend money, and if they were going to spend money on one position, it would be in the bullpen. It would be the closer. We saw, some leakage in that unit for the postseason, and there was just not a lot of trust to be had in that bullpen. So much so that the starters were getting used out of the bullpen, like a Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, among others. But with this move, he immediately makes the Dodgers just insane, as they always are. It was their one issue, and they patched it up with one of the best closers in the game. It's $23 million per year, as I mentioned. Insane money for a closer, but the Dodgers, they will go do what they have to do at all costs. And in 2025, he had a 3-WAR season according to Fangraphs, or not Fangraphs, Baseball Reference. 6-3 record, 1.63 ERA, pitched in 62 games, threw a 66 and a third innings, 98 strikeouts, .874 WHIP, 28 saves to boot. I mean, this is a dominant closer. There was a year where he struck out half the batters he faced, racking up a 50% K rate, and that's an all-time metric for a reliever. And so with him hitting the open market, kind of took that short-term high AAV, type of deal, instead of keeping the $100 million that was going to be given to him over the course of 5 years with the New York Mets. And now he makes, the best team in baseball even better, which hard to imagine that's even possible, but it is.
Yeah, I think we're just inching ever so closer to the salary cap. The fact that Dodgers can just keep on making moves like this, and there's really nothing you can do about it, especially for a team like the Mets who spend money. And in fact, they couldn't even get their own guy back. They didn't want to pay him this kind of money. Dodgers always have it. They do. It's a ridiculous move. I mean, you could say it's unfair, but it's a rule. I mean, they can do whatever they want. They got the money. I just worry for the rest of the league. It's just on the bright side, I think you can't say like they signed a lot of these guys last year, and some that didn't work out the way they thought they were gonna do. So maybe we get lucky that happens again this year. This bullpen isn't still quite what it needs to be. But I don't see that's likely to happen. I mean, Diaz has been one of the best guys over the past, basically his whole career. He's been a top closer in the game. So obviously it's a positive move for Dodgers.
I think the real question is here, is giving a reliever $23 million a year in overpay, because he's only going to pitch one specific inning. He is quite literally a one-trick pony, and I said it before we hit the record button. He's getting paid like a starter, which is insane context in 2025. But, here we are. Is this just the market, or do you think this was the Dodgers being stupid aggressive with an overpay?
I mean, if you're going to pay a guy this money, it's going to be Edwin Diaz. I think, this is a fair price for a guy. What the Dodgers baseball is about. It's about playoff runs and deep playoff runs. And you want to have this guy in the bullpen who can kind of have that shutdown inning towards the end of a game. He can come in, it's a close game like we saw in like the World Series where you need that one inning just to shut him down. To have a guy in Diaz who you can pretty much really trust in that position, I say it's worth that money, especially for a team that is 100% competing, is a championship favorite. They need a guy like this.
No doubt. And they didn't need. It didn't feel like they needed anything else to get back to the World Series, and here they are, just making more and more splashes, and they might not even be done. Another team that is making splashes, making moves, the Baltimore Orioles bringing in Pete Alonso. Completely unexpected, but they got him during the winter meetings. The reports were out that he was going down to Orlando, which makes some sense. He is from Tampa, Florida, so kind of going back home. And he was meeting with teams, and ultimately it wound up being Baltimore that brought him home. It was 5 years, $155 million. That's $31 million per year. $1 million more than Kyle Schwarber in terms of the average annual value. And yeah, this was a complete shock. I think before we dive into the numbers, Brendan, just personal emotional reaction. You kind of hinted at it with how you felt the winter meetings went, but Pete Alonso, a guy that you really wanted in Boston to fill the first base void, quote unquote, even though you got a young up and coming guy like Tristan Casas. Just
Yeah.
the emotion roller coaster that you must have been on when this happened.
Yeah. I was really convincing myself he was going to be a Red Sox. I remember seeing a lot of reports. I actually do remember last week when we were doing it, I was looking at something like just off the side, and it said Pete Alonso to meet with the Orioles and Red Sox. And I remember thinking to myself, like, no way he goes to the Orioles, right? I mean, I just figured he was just going to be a Red Sox. It made so much sense. He just kept on hearing reports about it. We needed Costas is fine, but I feel like people are kind of out on him. I would love Pete Alonso at first base. And it doesn't make any sense. I guess they didn't want him. That's kind of the bottom line. What this is. It's just if they really did want him, they would have get him. Because no disrespect, but if the front office wanted the guy, we're gonna get him. We're not gonna lose a bidding war to the Orioles. No offense, but it just shows that they're not willing to spend the money to get this guy.
Yeah, I think from an emotional standpoint, I was truly shocked. This happened in the afternoon while I was at school, and I saw the news, and I was just like, there's no way. I thought it was a fake report, and next thing I know, it's real. And he has gotten $30+ million on a year-to-year basis from the Baltimore Orioles, and the fact that the Orioles are kind of outclassing, teams like the Red Sox and the Mets, who are playing in these big markets such as Boston and New York, is just unfathomable. That's a world that I've never known as a Baltimore Orioles fan, but we're here, and they just landed a huge thumper for the middle of the lineup. I mean, he could be the cleanup guy tomorrow, and it's just insane to think about how the Orioles were the one to swoop in, scoop him up, and they made it off to Kyle Schwarber, which we'll get to with the Phillies conversation with him going back to Philly. But they found their pivot plan. I don't know if it even was a pivot plan because it gave more to Pete Alonso. And I mean, to be honest, I think I'd rather have Pete Alonso. I don't know about you, but he's a guy that's consistently just there. He's healthy. He's always played 150+ games over a full sample, no matter what. Even in the COVID season, he only missed 3 games. And then in back-to-back years, 2024, 2025, a full 162, 35 homers essentially, 34 and 38 respectively. Driving in so many runs, putting up 800+ OPSs over the past 2 seasons, or not in 2024, but 2025. Kind of had to settle for the short-term deal, pardon me. Maybe playing pissed off, and he went out there, played his butt off, and he got his bag this offseason. Just with the whole Boris client. Sorry for the ad. That's truly shocking. I never would have expected that and there are more layers that I can get to, but yeah, do you think that Pete Alonso better option than Schwarber at this point?
I would say so. I mean, like you said, he's just very consistently this guy who hits home runs and gets RBIs, and that's winning stuff in modern baseball. So I think I would take Pete Alonso, but they're both very good options, no doubt. I'm interested in what you think. Is this what you see in the future for like this Orioles offseason? I mean, obviously, this team still lacks some starting pitching they need. I mean, is this front office trying to compete right now? Is that what's going on? Do you think? Are they going to make some more moves to get some other guys in?
Yeah, it seems like the Orioles are going to be pretty aggressive moving forward. And one more thing is that Pete Alonso is healthy. He's consistently, I mentioned that before, but just a consistent guy who posts every day. And the Orioles had that issue where not a lot of guys were staying healthy, like a Gunnar Henderson getting a late start to the year, Adley Rutschman on and off the IL. Colton Cowser was dealing with some stuff. Jordan Westburg didn't play a full season. So many guys that the Orioles depended on were not healthy through the course of the year. Even the Tyler O'Neill, who they paid big bucks for, the injury issues came again for him. And so Pete Alonso being able to plug him in to the lineup, just that he's always going to be there, is huge for Baltimore. And just in terms of what they're going to do moving forward, I think they have some excess. They have a Kobe Mayo who could very well be in trade talks. They could dangle him pretty heavily, and I think a lot of teams would be willing to give something back for him, and the Orioles could get a top-line starting pitcher. I know that they've had conversations with Edward Cabrera and from the Marlins. Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan from the Twins are always on the table. Freddie Peralta from Milwaukee is there. If they wanted to move on from him, which I don't know why they would, but that's what the Brewers do. Mackenzie Gore in Washington, is another guy that's on the trade block. The Orioles now have a prized possession that I think a lot of rebuilding teams would be interested in, just with the potential and his major league ability right now. So yeah, the Orioles are looking dangerous, and they're shaping up their lineup. And if they want to go grab some starting pitching on the free agent market or, the trade market, they are in a great position to do so.
Yeah. It seems like they're playing aggressive. And this was definitely a move no one saw coming from the Orioles. But I do like it how even after this kind of down year, this front office, they're ready to compete and they want to compete, which is great to see from Baltimore. So I think overall great move.
No doubt. The Orioles are not settling. They want to make changes, and a lot of changes have been made. And Pete Alonso, huge. I mean, I think he's gotten the second highest contract from the Orioles behind Chris Davis, which is a completely different conversation. But, yeah, it's great to have Pete. He seemed happy in the press conference from the clips that I saw, and it's shocking that the Mets were not able to retain their guys. And now we'll move into the Mets side of this whole, I don't even know what you call it, the whole situation over the course of a week or two, right? Brandon Nimmo getting in with the Rangers. He's doing his press conference. Edwin Diaz going to the Dodgers. Pete Alonso going to the Orioles. Like, it seems like the sky is falling in Queens. And I don't quite know what's going on here, if they have a different plan in place. What's your read on that, Brendan?
I feel like we knew this was going to happen eventually. I mean, they were trying to keep all these guys, trying to pay them a lot, in hopes of a championship run or something. It just didn't happen. You kind of knew these guys, it was going to crash, and these guys are going to want more money. And, we like to say the Mets' pockets are deep, but they're just not this deep. And they had to pick their battles, who they want to keep. They picked Juan Soto last year. I think knowing that, they might not bring back some of these guys like Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz. So it is, it is a mess. Like you said, I don't know what this team's going to do. They definitely need some things to fill the gaps. I know they signed Jorge Polanco, which you said to play first base. That's definitely not Pete Alonso over there. I'm sure he'll be fine. But it's just definitely an offensive gap there. They're gonna have to fill. And then the bullpen, Edwin Diaz, they're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. So it's interesting situation in Queens.
Yeah, it seems like it's David Stern's thing. He was the former GM in Milwaukee, and this is how he likes to operate, just trying to win on the margins a little bit. And while he can pair that up with the Steve Cohen checkbook, which is always ready and available, it seems like he's kind of going his own way, and he didn't want to retain those guys. And it also seems like they wanted to make changes after a very disappointing 2025 season overall where they missed the playoffs. That's borderline inexcusable when you sign a $765 million player. So I think that they're just going to spend their money in other places. There are other areas of the roster to reinforce for them right now, and it hurts because Nimmo getting traded for Marcus Semien, Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso leaving free agency. Those guys are all fan favorites, but baseball is a business at the end of the day, and David Stearns does have a plan in mind. While many may not like it, I think the Mets are not done yet.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go. I don't know what's left in the market for them, but like you said, the pockets are still deep, and they got money to spend.
Yep.
Now we should move on to the qualifying offer. I know we didn't quite get to that last episode.
We'll get to that before Schwarber because it'll be pretty brief.
Forgot about Schwarber.
But yeah, we do have to talk about Schwarber going back to Philly. But yes, qualifying offer. 4 guys got it. I think we did talk about the 4 guys. I think it was just a question of who missed out on the most money. It was Brandon Woodruff, Shota Imanaga, Gleyber Torres, and Trent Grisham, just to refresh some memories. We were going to say who missed out on the most money, potentially, out of those guys. And I know your answer was Trent Grisham, so why do you think he, in particular, maybe could have gotten more on the open market?
I mean, I just think he had a great year in his first year in New York. I mean, or second year in New York. To recap those numbers, I mean, put 3.5 WAR season, 34 home runs, batted .235, OPS of 811, OPS plus 125, 74 RBIs. Very good season from him. I thought he fit, very well in this New York lineup. I mean, they hit the most home runs, and he was a big part of that. I just think he could have got a lot more, especially if, you hit that open market, you compete with other teams. I think the Yankees would try to keep him, and he could just, got a better deal long term, which would have been great for him because, you don't know what kind of season he's going to have after this, after having this breakout year. So I feel like getting that longer deal, more importantly, would be something he could have gotten.
Yeah, I would agree. Initially, I was thinking Gleyber Torres could have potentially gotten a handsome payday, but I think in terms of the average annual value, just the $22 million roughly on the table, that's more than he would have gotten over the course of a long-ish term deal, whether it would have been like a 3 or 4 year deal for him. So yeah, Trent Grisham, it was a career season in New York. We really saw the power tick up. You were reading off all the stats, and he could have parlayed that career year into some more cash, some more dough, but ultimately he didn't. He took the qualifying offer. I think for these guys taking the QO, just the uncertainty beyond 2026, with the lockout impending, played a big factor. So, yeah, it's interesting, but I do agree with you. Trent Grisham could have gotten a really nice contract if he had not taken the qualifying offer.
Yeah, for sure. So now we're going to do Kyle Schwarber. I forgot about him there for a second.
Yeah, Schwarber. We'll do the Schwarber conversation.
All right, well, I'll go over the deal here. So on December 9th, he re-signed with the Phillies, 5-year, $150 million deal. A little less than Pete Alonso. After coming off his amazing season in 2025, what do you think? Did he lead? How many? Forget how many runs he hit. But it was a lot. It
Uh,
was
56 home runs. Wow.
56 home runs. I think it was probably the best year of his career, right? I mean, you knew he was due for
Probably.
a big time payday. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know if I saw the Phillies keeping him. I feel like this core is kind of aging, but they decided they're sticking with him, and he's a great player. What do you think about this deal?
Yeah. It's interesting. Again, I think I'd rather have Pete Alonso because Pete Alonso 31 each season as opposed to Schwarber 33 age season. I know he's 32 right now, but he'll be 33 for the 2026 MLB regular season. He is coming off an insane career year, 56 homers as I mentioned, 150 OPS plus, a 928 OPS, slashing 240, 365, 563. That's crazy to read out loud. 132 driven in, even stole 10 bases. I don't know where that's coming from. But 4.7 win season as essentially a DH. Great for Schwarber. 5 years, 150. He did get beat by Alonso by a million on the AAV. But yeah, it's great to see Schwarber go back to Philly. It was reported that the Orioles offered the same contract of 5 years, 150, and Schwarber ultimately decided to just go back to Philly, and I don't blame him. I think that probably was the right decision just for him personally. He's already known Philly for long enough, and he's probably going to wrap up his career as a Philadelphia Philly. So, paying a DH $30 million a year, pretty crazy though. It's kind of the theme of this episode of paying specific positions to kind of do one thing, a lot of money. And that's, yeah, that's really the whole conversation around Schwarber, along with the fact that he is getting up there in age a little bit. So, I think Schwarber, was another guy you had circled for the Red Sox? Maybe a reunion potentially?
Again, I would have loved it. He could have played a little first base like he did back in 2021. I remember correctly.
That, yeah,
Um,
that's right.
he was great. I mean, I loved him when he was here. I know there was a little talk. I think the middle of the season, Alex Cora hinted a little bit. Didn't happen again. It's really unfortunate for the Red Sox. This is the clock's just ticking for guys that are left for them to get. So it sucks, but great move for the Phillies.
Yeah. And you already said that you'd rather have Pete than Schwarber.
It is that age thing, yeah. If he's 33, you're paying him until he's 38. You just don't know what's going to be like during that 38 season for Kyle Schwarber. I know he's not really playing the field. He's DH. I could see him still just hitting bombs. Maybe production drop off a little bit, but you never know. 38-year-old player, what's going to happen?
Yep. Those were the two big things that happened at the winter meetings. I think I have a fun idea on the fly. Well, we had some moves written down, kind of some secondary moves, supplemental for a lot of teams. But I think we should rate them out of 10. We'll do a rapid fire, just put a rating out there, maybe an explanation, brief explanation why. So yeah, we'll just fly through a few. One of them you mentioned, Jorge Polanco, New York Mets, 2 years, $40 million deal. I'm pretty sure I saw that he's gonna try and play first base. What is your grade on the signing? Or letter grade?
I liked him in that Seattle playoff run. I remember watching that.
That's true.
I'd give it an 8. I give a 7. I give it a 7. I think he's still a very good player. First base, it's probably going to work out. First base is not that hard. No offense to first baseman.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know if it's not Pete Alonso. So that's kind of the downfall there. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking more like 6.5, 7 out of 10. I think it's a good move. I think Jorge Polanco's a good bat, and they're that's what they're paying him to be, a hitter in the lineup, not really for the defense anymore, as they've made clear. But, I mean, $20 million, that's... I don't know if Jorge Polanco needed to get that much money. I feel like the Mets might have overstepped because they missed on some other guys. Next up, Dustin May to St. Louis. I think the rest of these are pitchers. I think Dustin May, 1-year deal, with St. Louis. You watched Dustin May. He was on the Red Sox down the stretch. They traded for him from Los Angeles in exchange for James Tibbs, and now he's on his way out. What would you grade the move?
Sorry, I cut out there for a little second. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, Dustin May, 1-year deal with the St. Louis Cardinals.
For the Cardinals, with the grade.
Yeah, 1-year deal with St. Louis.
I mean, it's like a 5. I don't. Dustin May really didn't have an impact with the Red Sox. I mean, I guess it's fine. You get a 1-year deal, try him out, see what he's got. He's got something in there, so maybe you get a little out. I'd give it like a 6. I'd say, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree. Like 5, 6. It's not really needle mover. Hey, maybe they hope to flip him at the deadline. You never know.
It's low risk.
Low risk, high reward. Maybe a trade chip. Maybe get some prospects back. I know St. Louis, kind of in a rebuild. Heim Bloom needs to recoup some value. New president of baseball ops or GM or whatever that title is. Robert Suarez to the Atlanta Braves. Signed a 3-year deal with Atlanta. He's going to be the setup man for Raisel Iglesias. What is your grade of the move?
You want to start with Austin this one?
Yeah. I need to look at the age here. I know he had a really good year last year. Yeah, 70 games pitched.
31.
He's Oh wow! I thought he was older. Oh, okay. Now I'm more intrigued. 3-year deal for him. I think that's a pretty solid move. Probably go like 7.5, 8. I'm gonna try and look up the contract value.
I'd say 8. I'd go 8. He's a back-to-back All-Star now. I mean, he's just put up a 2.3 WAR season, 40 saves. It's one of the best dudes in the game.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a setup guy.
I'd give it 8.5. I'd say. I think 8.5's not crazy.
Okay, that's not crazy. What else? Merrill Kelly going back to Arizona. How about it for the D-backs? 2-year deal. Someone I would have liked for the Orioles to go out and get. Reported 2-year deal with the Diamondbacks. They traded him to Texas. They got prospects back, and now he's rejoining the club.
Yeah, that's a great move. Get rid of him, get him right back. I guess, did he even sell the house? We don't know. He is 37 though. Just keep that in mind. It's only a 2-year deal, so there's not a lot of risk there. I give it like a 6. I don't know if
I'd probably say like 6.5 or 7.
Does this change the Diamondbacks' outlook for their team?
I don't
think so. It does, but it's not like
it. Yeah.
It's Merrill Kelly.
What are you saying?
It's not.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I think he's a good pitcher though. I would have been happy if the Orioles went out and signed him for the back end. He's a nice little back end arm, but obviously the D-backs, if they want to compete, they need more than that. So, yeah.
Oh, he's from Arizona. That's it.
He is? Wow. Oh, that's a nice reunion. Tyler Rogers to the Toronto Blue Jays, famously traded from the Giants to the Mets at the deadline. Because I say famously because I think a lot of people thought the Mets might have overpaid in terms of prospects for him, or just in general. 3-year deal. Wow. So he's 35, and it's going to take him to his age 38 season.
I think I'm for a team like this, I give it a 6, just because they are going to compete now, and I feel like this season, you're going to get a good year. Other those seasons, you don't know what you're going to get. Like you said, he's 35. I mean, what's he going to be like when he's 38? You don't know. But they're trying to compete right now. You need a guy like this. So they maybe probably overpaid a little bit, but I like it. I give it a 5. I'd give it a 6. 6.
Yeah, I'm probably in that same range, 5 or 6. I would have been fine giving him a 2-year deal. It's a very unique arm slot with that submarine motion. Or no, unless I'm thinking of Taylor Rogers.
I always forget. I think it's Taylor Rogers is the weird one.
Now I'm questioning my whole existence.
Didn't they both play for the Giants?
Yeah, but then they both traded. Shoot, I may be wrong. Tyler Rogers. Wow,
why do they look the same?
Tyler Rogers was with the Mets. Yeah, okay, so I did have that right. They do look the same. It's 3 years, 37. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of money. He is a good reliever, but 35. I'm not sure what you're gonna get beyond this year. So yeah, it's pretty aggressive by Toronto. Don't think they needed to pay that much, but they did. They're willing to spend. I give them credit, but not the best move. Even though it is a good reliever, I don't want that to get lost on us. And lastly, Steven Matz, 2-year deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. I believe it's about $7 million per year.
I give it a 7. 7. How much was it? 7 million? You said
7-ish, like 7.5.
That's a pretty good deal. Yeah. I give it a 7. I mean, you always use bullpen. What do you think?
He's 35 though.
Okay, I'd give it down to 6. I didn't know he was 35.
Okay, okay, yeah, I'd probably agree 6, or 6.5 for 7. I think Tampa got a pretty good one. We did forget about this one though. There are a lot of random relievers on here, so we don't need to go through all of them. But I do think this one is pretty notable. Kyle Finnegan going back to Detroit after a nice stint with them after the trade deadline, coming over from Washington, helping them make their playoff push. 2-year deal with Detroit. I think it was 19 mil. So he's getting about $9 million a year, 10-ish. Yeah.
It's in that 6 or 7 range.
Yeah.
I'd say 6.
Pretty similar. I'd probably say 7 just because of the success he had in Detroit.
It is, yeah. I'd pull up his numbers.
They're bringing him back at not a bad contract value.
He was. I'm looking at it now. That's a pretty good numbers. Yeah, I'd say 7.
Yeah. Those are all the moves. So that have happened so far. That was actually kind of fun on the fly. We could do more rapid fire type of stuff. Now we'll just fly through, or maybe not fly through, but we can go over some big starting pitching predictions. We never really did a prediction episode. So we could look at some big names. We'll just go in order of this list on MLB.com. J.C. Realmuto, 35 years old. Probably the top catcher in the market. Danny Jansen already off the board, 2-year deal with the Rangers. Maybe some other minor names like a James McCann signing a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks. Where could J.T. Realmuto go?
Is it the Phillies? I mean, I feel like the easy answer is just saying the Phillies, but I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. You got any ideas? I mean,
it's hard not to say Philly. I think the only other idea was Miami if they wanted to get a reunion going.
Yeah, got a weird reunion going on. Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's a Philly. He's a Philly.
it does kind of feel like he's gonna stay.
If they're sticking with Schwarber, they're sticking with Realmuto. They're keeping that core together.
I think they still have to look towards life after JT though.
True that. Yeah.
Yeah, like they can't be shoot. Pardon the mic dropping. They can't be relying on JT the same way that they once did.
Yeah.
First
But I
base.
think he still goes back.
Yeah, he probably just goes back to Philly. First base, the two top guys already off the board. Pete Alonso, 5-year deal. Oh, wow. Pete Alonso and Josh Naylor both got 5-year deals. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a lot of 5-year deals going on.
Yeah, a lot of 5 years. Ryan O'Hearn, is Ryan O'Hearn notable enough to put on the list?
I give it to him. Sure.
Okay. Ryan O'Hearn, left-handed bat. Orioles got him off waivers. Really great story. All-star in 2025. Mainly just a platoon bat. You know, you're not going to really play him against lefties, but you can play some first base, place corner outfield in the pinch. I think he could get a nice 2-year deal, and I'm happy for him. I think he deserves it. Just a gamer. You always root for those guys. Where do you think he could land?
He's... I mean, he was an all-star.
Yep.
Cubs.
Cubs. Really?
Just throw something out there. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Oh, man. Where could he go? I feel like he could be in the Pittsburgh market. I know Minnesota was connected to him, too.
All right.
It sucks that he's back in the bad teams market, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to think on the... Or maybe he could just go back to San Diego. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
Like
see
a good
that.
fit. Maybe a Milwaukee type. I could see Milwaukee. I liked Milwaukee at the deadline for him.
Yeah, I could see.
I think
They
I'm gonna
do
go
like
Milwaukee.
bat like that.
I like the guy. I like the Milwaukee town. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Milwaukee pick there. Any other first baseman need to roll through?
Who else is there? Let me see.
I mean, Goldschmidt, Santana, Luis Arias, Nate Lowe.
Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe needs to figure it out. I don't know what's. I hope the Red Sox don't re-sign him for sure.
I don't think they will.
Paul Goldschmidt's interesting. I mean,
I think he just goes back to Arizona personally.
that would be great. End his career there.
Yeah,
Oh man,
it's a nice story.
that'd be nice. All right.
I thought he was gonna be in the second base section. I will say Luis Arias. I think he could be a Pittsburgh Pirate.
That seems like a cheap move. Just grab him.
Yeah,
Just something for the.
cheap bat. That seems like the Pirates' mantra.
It is, yeah.
They see that he hits for average, and they're like, yeah, he's good enough.
Not really doing just the bare minimum for the Pirates.
Yeah, exactly. They're a bare minimum team. Although they're bringing Paul Skeens into the recruitment pitches to free agents. See what I did there? Pitches.
Oh, huh.
No pun intended there.
Anyway,
Yeah. Do you think Paul Skeens could literally like bring in free agents?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like you like, pitch behind Paul Skeens. Like I would take that. You're gonna pay me to watch Paul Skeens pitch? I'll do that.
Yeah, but the Pirates aren't gonna be good.
No, they're pretty bad, and they're probably gonna trade Paul Skeens.
Probably.
They should.
Yeah, I think Luis Arias, not Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. What do you think?
Back to the Padres. I feel like he was a good fit with the Padres.
Okay. It's all about the batting average. We like those singles.
That's what he's all about, and he's kind of utility.
Yeah. Moving on. Willie Castro, second base. He's got some utility. He wants the Cubs at the deadline. Decent player. I think he might have made an All-Star team. Where could he go?
2024 is an All-Star.
24. Okay.
I could see him as a Yankee. Good plug
They
and
did
play.
re-sign Ahmed Rosario though.
Okay, then
Does that change your perception at all?
I didn't know that. Who needs utility?
He's only 29 years old. That's like by WAR over the past 2 seasons, he's the best available second baseman on the market.
That seems. How is that? Am I not looking? I'm not looking at the right guy. That's what's going on here. Houston.
It's a good shout.
What about you?
I could see like Kansas City, Seattle, San Fran, those types of teams getting in there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What was the team you
Third
said?
base. Ooh.
Malik Astros. Yeah, that's a good one. Shortstops. Bo Bichette. Oh, Bo Bichette's a big one. There's some good names.
Blue Jays.
You think he just goes back?
I think there's no way he doesn't go back. I mean, he's a Blue Jay. They love him out there. I mean, he's.
Yeah, I don't know how he doesn't go back to Toronto. If he weren't to go to Toronto, though, where would he land?
Who needs a shortstop?
If they're going big, ATL.
Yeah, that's a move.
But like, do they feel like Bo Bichette's the guy?
I don't know if he's the guy. He's a guy. What are they going for there? I'm trying to get a star player out of that shortstop position.
It feels like Atlanta has to get a shortstop in there at some point, right?
Yeah. Are the Yankees closing the book on Volpe?
I don't think they should. I think they should probably give him like 1 or 2 more years. But after that, like, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
I think Bichette probably just goes back to the
He's a Blue Jay. He's a Blue Jay for life.
But if the Blue Jays don't bring him back, Atlanta probably does it.
Yeah.
Ha-Seong Kim right behind him. Interesting little player. Defend glove first, middle infielder type, just high floor. Maybe they think Ha-Seong Kim's is the good stopgap. In Atlanta.
That's definitely not the guy.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, yeah, if you want to shoot him like a 2-year deal, just kind of fill in that area, sure. I could see him going to Atlanta.
I feel like Bo Bichette, going back to him, like he's in that range of, he's not a stopgap, but he's not like the franchise guy.
Yeah.
It's a weird place to be.
I feel like Atlanta's got franchise guys other places, you know?
Yeah, but like shortstop has just been a hole since Swanson left.
True.
I think Ha-Seong Kim, it would make sense for him to go back to Atlanta.
All right.
Third base. Oh, Alex Bregman. That's a
Red Sox. Got it, Red Sox.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox should do everything they can to retain him.
And it's just like the problem is now they have like no leverage anymore because there's nobody left. Like if they don't get Bregman, then who are they gonna get? So that Bregman can ask for pretty much anything he wants.
Oh yeah.
So
that's a tough place to be.
It stinks, but he's got to go back. He had a great year in Boston. I know he didn't play a full year, but we predicted kind of what was going to happen with that playing in Fenway for Bregman.
Perfect environment, match made in heaven.
We need him. Third base. Let's make it happen, Bregman.
Yep, I would agree. I'm also going to say Boston. If not, Detroit, maybe.
Not anymore.
Detroit was in there last year.
Ugh.
Behind him, Eugenio Suarez. Very interesting bat. Kind of polarizing. All he does is hit. Maybe the defensive limitations limit his earnings this offseason. I honestly have no idea where he's going to go.
Could he go back to Seattle? Or I don't know if they're trying to spend that money.
Yeah, I don't know if they deem it worth it to bring him back.
I could see the Angels making a dumb move and like giving him a big deal.
I was thinking Angels. Angels is like they got Grayson with them. They got Grayson Rodriguez on their squad. They're just like, we're in. We're gonna compete.
They see that 50 home runs and they say like 50 million.
Yeah. Where? I don't know. Maybe like National swoop in or something.
That'd be
Maybe,
interesting. It's just be like a
some first
pointless
base
move.
help.
I feel like.
I don't know. Like, if the Nationals pony up and pay him, like, sure, he could be a valuable bat in the middle of the order.
Yeah.
I think could he go back to Cincy? That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. I think Angels. That's my guess.
I'm gonna go Nationals. I'm gonna just be different.
All right.
I think the Nationals make like a 2-year splurge or something. Left field. Wow, there's no good left fielder. Hopefully you don't.
Do we even mention any of these guys?
I mean, Ref Snyder, Rob Ref Snyder, Miguel Andujar, Austin Hayes, Jesse Winker. Like, how much intrigue is there?
I mean, you got Rob Refsnyder, Red Sox legend.
Lefty Matt.
Tommy Pham, Red Sox legend. Alex Verdugo, Red Sox legend. I mean,
A lot of Red Sox legends out here.
this is crazy. Let's just bring them all back.
If you need help hitting some lefties, you definitely got some guys in this market that can help.
Yeah.
Center field. There are some big hitters in center field, though.
Cody
Bellinger. We forgot to grade the Cedric Mullins to Tampa. How could I forget
I
about
completely forgot about that deal.
that? Wow. That's not a good reflection on me. But what do you think of that move?
What was was exact money?
Well, it was like 1 year, $8 million.
I'll give it that quick grade again. I'm gonna go
Quick grades.
7.
7. Yeah, I'd agree. 7. I think he's just high floor player. Good glove, good range, not a great arm. League
Only
average bat.
31, 1 year deal. It's great.
Yeah, that's great value. Yeah, that's getting a good value player there. Back to the big boys. Cody Bellinger. Where is Cody Bellinger going?
I don't feel like he's going to the Yankees.
Really? Oh, yeah, it's kind of crowded in that outfield now. Trent Grisham handicapped him.
So is he like a... Where else? I was going to say San Francisco, but that doesn't make any sense for him.
You know who could swoop in and just make this happen? The Mets.
Who? The Mets?
Yeah.
I could see that. A second year in a row of them stealing Yankees outfielder?
He's taking a left-handed hitting Yankees outfielder.
That'd be crazy.
Or Toronto. Toronto could be in. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say Toronto. I think Toronto gets him.
I'm going to say... Royals.
Orioles?
Royals.
Oh, Royals. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think they spend that money, though?
They got to do something. They got to help out Bobby Witt.
Sure. Harrison Bader. Might be the fallback option for teams that wanted Cody Bellinger, but maybe they see better value in Bader. Had a nice little season between Minnesota and Philly. Where's it going?
I'll say Blue Jays for him. How about that?
where could he go? This is he could be an Angel, and I wouldn't bat an eye.
I feel like he already was an Angel. Is that just me?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, he wasn't.
I gotta think of a rapid fire one. I was gonna say, who was I just gonna say that I forgot? I don't know why I thought the Padres, but I feel like the Padres would use him in some sort of role.
I'll say Giant.
KC. I like KC. Nah, yeah.
I'll say San Fran.
Yeah, I want to go Kansas City. I like that fit. Those are the center fielders, and this is why I said Cody Bellinger to Toronto, because I think Kyle Tucker is going to go to the Mets.
The Mets?
They've been think about all the money that they're saving by not getting Pete Alonso, by not getting Edwin Diaz.
What about Yankees?
I think the Mets could one up them again.
Yankees they're gonna make a splash at some point, right?
I know, but I think the Mets would I think they'd be willing to do more because they want to beat the Yankees.
It's just the ownership
on the market. Kyle Tucker, by the way, just Kyle Tucker. I mean, no explanation needed.
Yeah. You go Mets. I'm going Yankees.
Yeah.
Hate to say it.
I just think the Mets are willing to outbid the Yankees at this point.
That lefty in the short porch at Yankee Stadium.
It'd be crazy. But I still think the Yankees are handicapped with getting Grisham on the qualifying offer.
They'd figure it out though. They got so much money.
Yeah. If you I don't think the outfield they have right now is bad. If you had Jason Dominguez in left, Trent Grisham in center, Aaron Judge in right. It's not a bad outfield.
Who was in left?
Jason Dominguez.
Oh yeah. Well, who's the Stan's the DH. Oh, okay.
And to his credit, when he's rolling, he's thumper.
Dude, he's a killer.
Yeah, but he's just never healthy.
It is crowded.
Yeah, that's why I go Kyle Tucker to the Mets. But like you said, the Yankees could just figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Starting pitcher or designated hitters.
DH. No, there's. I mean, Marcell Ozuna,
Andrew McCutchen. Pirates.
And there's no one else besides the Pirates. He is to retire a Pirate.
Still holding on.
If he's it's just the 1 year deal with the Pirates thing. He's gonna do that until he's done.
Until they won't give it to him anymore.
Simple as that. Starting pitchers, let's go. Let's just fly through them. Framber Valdez.
Astros.
You think he goes back? Wow. Back to Houston?
Yeah. You don't like that move?
I like it. I mean, I don't know if Houston would do it if he's demanding 6 years. I mean, he's got 7.
6, 7.
Oh, okay. That's.
What about is this Orioles?
Low-key, I also think this could be a Mets move. They just go chuck the money at a starting pitcher because they need to.
Is this too rich for the Orioles?
I mean, anything's possible now that they got Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but they got to. One of these guys got to be an Oriole.
I know. I think Framber, I think the Orioles could be trading for starters rather than signing them. I think Framber could also be a Met.
You go Mets for everything.
Not everything. I mean, I just think they could land the 2 top cats.
True that.
Yeah. It's the type of team that they are. Steve Cohen is a monster.
All right.
What do you? Oh yeah, Ranger Suarez, kind of the next best lefty on the market. 2 years younger, might I add. Where's his next stop?
Texas.
Hmm.
Rangers, bang.
That's nice. I think it could either be Atlanta or Chicago. Some dark horses.
All right. Chicago. White Sox?
White Sox. What?
Chicago White Sox?
No, Cubs.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Michael King. We gotta go Michael King.
Um, I'd say, I'd say he goes back to San Diego. They need him.
Okay. I actually think he could go to Boston.
Really?
I think he'd be a Red Sox.
I don't know about that. He's from Boston. He went to Boston College. All right.
I know. He's a Boston guy. New England guy.
I'd rather get a.
You don't want that on your team?
I mean, Michael Kinsey, he's a great player. No doubt there. But like,
Yeah.
that makes things interesting. And that'd be a good starting pitching rotation then.
Yeah. Zach Allen. Super stuffy. Down year last year. Looking for the bounce back. But has the qualifying offer attached to him.
This is an
As
Orioles
do
move.
Most of these guys. You think Orioles?
Take the guy. I think they're gonna bet on him. You don't like that?
I think the Orioles might be disincentivized at the
Alright.
fact that Zach Allen has the qualifying offer on him. Low key, it could just be a Dodgers move, and like no one would bat an eye.
They need more starting pitching.
The Dodgers, it's never enough.
It's true.
Or it could be Mets. Mets got some pitching development. I think Mets or Dodgers.
All right.
And then was there another guy that I was missing? No. No one else notable on the starting pitching market. I think
Is that it?
only reliever will do Pete Fairbanks. He got what did he get? His club option declined. Hit the open market. I think he could get a decent little payday. Where is he going to be closing games next year?
Yankees.
Yankees. He's bullpen up. I think he'd be a Cub. I like the Cubs fit.
All right.
I think they could spend some coin in that area. That's it for the episode. We did some rapid fire stuff. Went over some big time moves. Did take us a while. So if you're listening all the way, thank you for sticking it out. We'll try and keep it a little bit shorter going into the next one. I know we had a 40-minute one last time. That was pretty good. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Brennan, any last thoughts for the people?
No, that's it. Excited for more moves to happen. Get ready. Keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. Offseason is far from over, and anything new that happens, we'll break it down right here. Until next time, we will see you.